Hey guys, this is something new for me. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm not big on sharing my feelings or being overly emotional, especially when it comes to social media, because I feel like a lot of people use it for the wrong reason. They put it out there for false empathy or hoping to get sympathy or pity out of it so somebody will feel sorry for them so they can get a leg up on whatever it is they're doing. As not everybody uses it for good, so this is a first. And I know I missed the mark. I believe it was May that was Mental Health Awareness Month, but seeing as though this is a more recent challenge that I've had to deal with, I figured the timing was less important than the actual message. About halfway through the quarantine, a couple of months ago, I developed both a panic and anxiety disorder. Now, I don't know what it stems from or where it really came from. I'm working on going to therapy and getting to the root of, I don't want to say what's wrong because there's nothing wrong with you, but figuring out what issues may lay inside that could give me these feelings. So about a couple months ago, developed this disorder. I had a massive panic attack that was my third one I had ever had, but this one was just different. If you've never had a panic attack, it is the scariest thing I can possibly describe internally. It feels like you cannot breathe whatsoever. It feels like you're getting no air, like you're being strangled, like you just ran 10 miles and then you're forced to catch your breath through a coffee stirrer. Like you're just getting no air at all. And on top of that, it feels like your heart is beating out of your chest a million miles per hour. It feels like you're having a heart attack. So those two combined terrifying feelings make you feel like you're dying. It's the closest I've felt to feeling like I was going to die internally. And I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but I have come to learn that this happens quite often, and you're not actually going to die. You're going to be fine. And there's plenty of exercises and therapies that you can go to work on managing those situations should you have one. But stemming from this panic attack, it didn't really leave. For days and weeks following, every moment of each day was just constant anxiety and fear that I couldn't describe. I didn't know what was causing it. I didn't know why it wouldn't go away, but it was just the most uncomfortable, sick, scared feeling. You can't really sleep. You don't want to eat. You're afraid to go do any physical activity. And it was miserable. And I've just recently got to a point over the past couple of days, maybe a week or so, where I'm starting to be able to manage it and things are starting to feel normal again. I don't know what initially caused it. I don't know if it's just because of quarantine and how chaotic 2020 has been, all aspects of the news included. There was just maybe a lack of structure in my life that, I wasn't living any days the way that I have been for the past 7, 8, 9 years, however long I've been doing my job and living in LA. That's my best guess. I've learned that a lot more people throughout the quarantine and just this year alone have developed these kind of problems that they've never had to deal with before. And I mainly just wanted to share this message in hopes that it spreads awareness and lets people know that they're not alone. In fact, there's a fucking jet above me right now of people. Somebody's probably on that plane right now losing their fucking mind. But yeah, it's a very lonely feeling. I went to doctor after doctor. I had test after test taken because I thought something was physically or mentally wrong with me. I thought I was going insane and I thought it was never going to end. And for some people, that's enough. That's all it takes for some people to not want to be here anymore. And though I never had any suicidal thoughts myself, I did explain to my doctor that, I didn't want to kill myself in that moment, but I wouldn't want to live the rest of my life like that. Like if it was going to be a permanent feeling of just being in fear and uncomfortability every day, maybe I'd consider it. I don't know. It's a miserable, miserable feeling. And through a couple smaller outlets, I've expressed these feelings. And thankfully, through good friends and family, I've learned that, it's not just me, it's a very common thing, and you can get past it. You just have to put the work in, do the research, and find the right people. The entire experience has been very eye-opening, because I never quite took a lot of mental health issues serious, like such as anxiety. I figured like everybody gets anxious, everybody's nervous or worried or, overthinking things, which I constantly am and have been my entire life. And those may be early signs of potential future anxiety disorders. I just never quite took it serious. I figured people just, weren't as mentally strong. And I realize now that just how incredibly insensitive that is. It is a real problem. I would not wish it on anybody in the entire world, and it is to be taken serious. It's definitely just opened my eyes and made me more empathetic to people who do deal with this on a daily basis. Again, I'm not putting this video out because I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me. I don't want any kind of empathy. I don't want to gain anything from this whatsoever. I fucking hate people who do that. Usually I'm like, handle your shit by yourself. I'm just old-fashioned that way. But learning just how many people also deal with this on a daily basis made me really realize just how serious it is. And for anybody out there listening who does deal with this, I'm sorry. And you're gonna be okay. There's people here to listen. If you need to reach out to me, I can't always respond, but if I can, I will. And there's hotlines to call, there's doctors to see, there's medication that you should do research on, but maybe you should take it. Go to therapy, talk to somebody. Luckily, I've had an incredible friend and family support group who have helped me get through this, and I'm doing okay. I'm still scared every day that it's gonna come back, and it probably will at some point. But to know you're not alone is the most important thing. So I just wanted to take this time and say thank you to every single person who's strong enough to fight this every day. It's not the end of your life, and it shouldn't be, and you're gonna be okay. I love you all. Just be kind, because you don't know what somebody else is dealing with inside. I make fun of a lot of people. I'm a comedian. I make jokes at other people's expense all the time. It's never, ever, 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 ever coming from a hateful place. Unless it's Donald Trump. I mean every word that I say about that motherfucker. Anybody who knows me knows that my friends and I, we roast each other constantly. There's zero hate in anything we say. We do it to bust each other's balls. That's very important in life. You can't take everything too serious. One of my best friends, James, I have a picture of him framed in my house, even though he's top 5 ugliest people I've ever met in my entire life. So yeah, I bust balls all the time, but don't actually have hate in your heart. If you say something, make it very clear it's a joke. Do whatever you can to make the implications clear that you don't mean any of that shit, because people are struggling in their own way. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be okay. But these past couple of months have been absolutely hell. And not that I would ever want anybody to feel sorry for me. I don't want that. I never want that. I want to be strong on my own. But you would never guess. I get this shit all the time. Oh, you're a good-looking, successful white guy. How hard could life be? Fucking hard sometimes. So just be nice. Be empathetic. If somebody's actually going through something, don't just dismiss it. They could be lying. There's a lot of people out there seeking attention just for the sake of getting attention. And it's fucked up because it takes away from the people who are actually suffering. Hopefully some good will come out of this. It's definitely made me want to be a better person in how I treat others and how I treat myself, which is equally as important. So it could potentially be a growing experience, and it can be for you too. So again, I love each and every one of you. Thank you for listening to this. I hope it helps somebody, and everything's gonna be okay.